Imagine the sweetest part of your day was secretly hurting your health. Some bars are packed with stuff that could seriously threaten you, and they're from brands you thought you could trust. Nestlé doesn't just sell chocolate, it sells emotions. It is a memory for everyone, which is why what happened in 2025 felt like a betrayal. The FDA opened a review into Nestlé Toll House dark chocolate chips after watchdogs flagged them for having some of the riskiest results in testing. Consumer Reports even called Nestlé one of the worst offenders, ranking the brand among the top for products that you really shouldn't be snacking on too often. Lead exposure is most dangerous for kids and pregnant women, but even adults aren't safe. Think brain fog, fatigue, even long-term cognitive decline, all from a handful of chocolate chips. And if the health risks weren't enough, international investigations uncovered Nestlé's ties to forced labor in Brazil's cocoa industry. Workers trapped in debt, living in tin shacks, working 12-hour days for $2. Nestlé's warm family branding cracks wide open when the supply chain looks like a dystopia. Sweetness has a price, and Nestlé's comes at a cost that no family should pay. So do you still trust Nestlé with chocolate, or has the brand lost its sweet spot? And if Nestlé's chocolate is already loaded with risks, what happens when you turn to the so-called king of luxury? Lindt golden wrappers, glossy commercials of truffles melting in candlelight. For years, if you wanted to say you matter, you gave Lindt. But in 2025, the shine cracked. Watchdog groups tested Lindt's 85% excellence bar and found that it carried some of the highest level of contaminants on the market, way above safe daily limits. And the problem doesn't go away quickly. These toxins linger in your body, building up in your organs over time. Even worse, Lindt markets dark chocolate as the healthier indulgence. Just imagine people choosing Lindt thinking they're boosting wellness, only to get a secret dose of toxins. And it doesn't stop at health. Investigations exposed Lindt's cocoa suppliers for illegal deforestation. Kids spraying pesticides barefoot for a stripped bear, all while Lindt runs glossy ads about excellence. It turns out that luxury doesn't always mean purity. Sometimes it's just metals and misery wrapped in gold foil. Do you think Lindt's Gold Bunny is still golden, or just overpriced foil? And if luxury chocolate can hide so many ugly secrets, what does that say about the classic American favorite that we grew up with? The American icon. Campfires, s'mores, Halloween nights. Hershey's bars are childhood in simpler words, but not every childhood is perfect. In 2025, the nostalgia melted away. Consumer Reports tested Hershey Special Dark and Milk Chocolate, and the results? Most harmful substances that exceeded California's Proposition 65 safety guidelines. One serving of Hershey Special Dark was found to contain levels of harmful substances that health experts consider unsafe. Those aren't harmless little numbers. Long-term exposure can damage kidneys, weaken bones, and accelerate memory loss. That comforting bar suddenly looks like a health hazard in disguise. Parents packing Hershey's into lunchboxes? Yeah, that comes with uninvited baggage. And if that weren't enough, lawsuits piled up in New York accusing Hershey's of hiding these risks. Investigations dug even deeper, right into their supply chain. Child labor on West African cocoa farms, kids lugging 100-pound sacks spraying pesticides barefoot, inhaling toxins, all while Hershey's commercials sell us joy. The truth? Hershey still smiles at you from the shelf, but now it feels less like comfort food and more like a wolf in a candy wrapper. So would you still grab a Hershey's bar if prices keep climbing? Because really, is it worth it? And if America's most iconic chocolate isn't safe, what about the ones where we pay extra for as a premium treat? Step into Ghirardelli's store and you're greeted with free samples and San Francisco charm. It's chocolate that feels like a warm postcard from America's past, the brand that you were proud to serve. Until 2025. Independent tests exposed their 86% intense dark squares as having dangerously high cadmium levels, 0.88 micrograms per serving, brushing up against legal limits in California and exceeding standards in parts of Europe. Cadmium isn't some minor detail, it is linked to many physical breakdowns, and for elderly folks, it's especially dangerous. But here's where it gets uglier. A Bloomberg investigation tied Ghirardelli's cocoa to deforested regions in Ghana. Farmers forced off their land, protected forests bulldozed for cocoa crops. So much for crafted with care. By May 2025, some European countries even restricted imports of Ghirardelli dark chocolate. For loyal customers, it felt like betrayal, because behind the gold foil and nostalgia, what you really bought was toxic metals and exploitation. Would you still pay a premium for a square that doesn't feel special anymore? And if Ghirardelli's gone from golden squares to toxic squares, Dove's out here selling therapy bars that might need therapy themselves. Dove chocolate wants you to believe that it is soft, safe, and sweet, like therapy wrapped in foil. But in 2025, no amount of pep talk could cover the guilt. Consumer watchdogs tested Dove's 70% dark chocolate, and the results were not pretty. The kind of numbers that made California regulators raise an eyebrow. Suddenly, that smooth little square you reach for during me time started looking less like self-care and more like self-sabotage. And the drama didn't stop there. Dove's parent company Mars got slapped with a lawsuit in Illinois. The accusation? Selling chocolate as a healthy indulgence while sweeping the ugly truths under the rug. Picture this, you unwrap a bar that whispers, "You deserve this." But what you're really getting is a side of disappointment. That's Dove in 2025. So do you still buy the silky promise? Or is it feeling a little hollow now? But if big corporations are failing, maybe the ethical brands are the answer. Or are they? Theo was supposed to be the hero, the ethical alternative, the chocolate you brag about buying at co-ops, telling yourself every bite is a vote for a better world. But 2025 shattered the illusion. Theo's Most bar, the one that people bragged about as the grown-up choice, got blasted by watchdogs for ranking among the worst offenders. And not for taste. Fans who shelled out extra cash for the ethical, elevated label expected better. Instead, they got disappointment wrapped in recycled paper. Theo's big comeback was a carefully polished PR note. We're evaluating suppliers, expanding testing. Translation, a whole lot of nothing. No receipts, no hard proof, just vague promises dressed in corporate yoga speak. It turns out playing the "we're not like the other guys" card doesn't work when you're caught in the same mess. Paying more doesn't make betrayal taste sweeter, does it? And even if the ethical choice is hiding toxins, what does that say about these so-called luxury gifts like Godiva? Luxury in a gold box. Godiva always positioned itself as the ultimate gift chocolate. Valentine's Day, anniversaries, holidays. It was elegant on the outside, but deep down lies some rotten hidden truths. 2025 uncovered the ugly truth. Independent tests showed the worst chemical levels high enough to raise red flags under California law. For a brand that sells premium pricing, those results cut deeper. And like others on this list, Godiva couldn't escape controversy. The very brand that people trusted for special moments was hiding exploitation behind its boxes. It turns out the gift of Godiva wasn't luxury after all, it was poison in a bow. Would you still buy Godiva for gifting if the magic feels gone? I don't think I ever will. But now that you know the dark truth behind these chocolates, will you still reach out for your favorite bar or think twice before unwrapping it? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more food industry secrets.